Open machine, Madam Clerk. Close the machine, Madam Clerk.
There is a quorum present, Mr. Speaker.
We will have the reading of the journal. Gentleman from Rankin, Representative Powell, moves we dispense with the reading of the journal. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Report of select committees.
We have none, Mr. Speaker.
Report of standing committees.
We have reports on the calendar, Mr. Speaker.
Introduction of bills and constitutional amendments. Gentleman from Marion, Mr. Morgan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I ask unanimous consent to dispense with the reading of the introductions.
Is there objection to this? Hearing none, Mr. Clerk, we will follow that procedure. Resolutions, petitions, memorials, and other papers.
We have none, Mr. Speaker.
Introduction of guests and visitors. Gentleman from Tippa, Mr. Steverson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, in the South Gallery, I have some people from Tippa County representing the Future Farmers of America. I have their sponsor, Miss Millie Chisholm. I have John Carter Panel and Miss Emily Mooney. Please help me make them welcome.
Welcome. Gentleman from Forest, Mr. Byrd.
Mr. Speaker, I'd like the House to make welcome, I think they should be in the North Gallery, FFA members from Forest County Agricultural High School, a real working farming school. Please make them welcome.
Welcome. Gentleman from Newton, Mr. Rushing.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of the gentleman from Clark, Representative Smith, gentleman from Lauderdale, Representative Calvert, senior gentleman from Lauderdale, Representative Horn, and myself, if the House would help me make welcome in the South Gallery, Mr. Sable and Mr. Breland with the Newton County FFA chapter. Y'all stand and wave at us. Thank y'all for being here.
Welcome. Good to have y'all at your Capitol today. Gentleman from Simpson, Mr. Wallace.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, if you direct your attention to the North Gallery, we have the Puckett High School Student Council from Puckett and Rankin County. Amy Smith is there. Y'all stand up.
Welcome. Good to have you at your Capitol today. Gentleman from Madison, Mr. McMillan.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the South Gallery, please help me make welcome the AP Government class from Madison Ridgeland Academy and their teacher, Miss Tanya Reeves.
Welcome.
And MRA also last night, let me throw this out there. So Madison Ridgeland Academy last night also won the MAIS overall for the boys and the girls. So we got 2 championships over at Madison Ridgeland Academy.
Good to have you young people with us today. All right, I don't see any further announcements. We will go to the calendar. Ways and Means? Well, he'll need to be out here if he wants to take up his bills. They tell me he's coming. There he is. Right on time, gentlemen. Gentleman from Tate. Chairman of Ways and Means, you're recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I would ask that we go to the Ways and Means calendar, and I would call up item 1, House Bill 327. Make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the 3rd time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized, gentlemen, to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, this bill is a tax credit for television production businesses. We've got one for movies. This is a bill that we've passed a couple times and looked at for a few years here in the state. I think it has died previously in the Senate, but we're hoping this year is a year that we can expand that existing program from movies to television productions. There's a $42 million cap in the aggregate. Obviously, it would not apply unless the production is here in the state, providing jobs and making purchases here in Mississippi. And so that is a general explanation of what this bill does.
Questions on the bill? Gentleman from Harrison, Mr. Felsher.
Gentlemen, yield.
I will, gentlemen.
Just one quick
you
question.
are.
What is the ROI for $1 put into this tax credit back to us?
The ROI?
Yeah.
There is a study on that, gentleman, that we did a few years ago on the movie side, and I don't have it with me today, but I'd be happy to get you a copy of that.
But you'd be satisfied that it's good enough to move forward?
I think so.
Yes, sir.
It's an existing program. Really what we're doing here is just the television productions think Landman and the like don't qualify because our existing program is just for movies.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Gentleman from Marshall, Mr. Faulkner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gentlemen, you yield.
Yes, sir.
Is this for companies outside of the state that may be coming in to do some type of production or what?
It's just be in-state, gentlemen. This would be in-state.
So someone coming in to film a movie, this won't apply?
No, it would. Yeah, it's designed to attract people, but all the business activity that would qualify for the credits would have to be in-state.
So in or outside of the state?
That's right.
Hey, thank you.
Thank you.
I don't see any further questions, gentlemen.
Move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By vote 115 yeas, 1 nay, the bill passes. Next item, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill comes to us as an effort to increase our health insured population.
Where are we going, gentlemen?
Oh, I'm sorry. House Bill 343. I'd call it up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized to explain the bill.
Got a little bit ahead of myself. House Bill 343 is a tax credit for employers that would offer private health insurance plans for their employees. It's a credit of $400 per employee the first year, $200 in the second year, with a $10 million aggregate cap. And that's an explanation of the bill. Just trying to encourage employers to provide health insurance for their employees.
Questions on the bill? I don't see any, gentlemen.
I'd move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 118 yeas, 0 nays, the bill passes. Next item, Mr. Chairman.
Item 3, House Bill 420. I'd call the bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized to explain the bill, gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, we brought this same bill before you last year, except the age limit. I think the lady from DeSoto's worked hard on this. I don't see her here. She's around somewhere, I'm sure, but she worked hard on this bill. The age limit in current law is 90. This would reduce it to 85. And this existing law provides a full exemption for a honorably discharged veteran and their spouse. And that is an explanation.
Questions on the bill? Gentleman from Washington, Mr. Hines.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gentleman, you.
Sure.
What's the cost estimate on the reduction of 5 years?
Zero.
You know, is zero?
To the state, zero.
Okay. So if that being the case, why not take it down to 65 or so?
Well, this is a local issue, gentlemen. So far, it's the more you add, the more it does cost to the local government, but it's zero to the state. This is a local issue.
So did the local supervisors and stuff support this change?
I haven't heard from them.
Oh, okay.
So it's an existing law, gentlemen. It's just 90 right now.
I know. I'm just asking. Since you changed it, taking it down, why not take it down so some people can actually benefit from it?
Well,
what's the life expectancy of a disabled veteran? How long do they last around?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of them. So the older you get, you understand that. But you got to start. You got to crawl before you can walk.
So would you not agree with me, gentlemen, that veterans should have an opportunity to participate in this?
I think that's, I obviously agree with you because I'm presenting the bill.
All right, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
I don't see any further questions.
I'd move final adoption.
He moves final passage. Open machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 120 yeas, 0 nays, the bill passes. Next item, Mr. Chairman.
Next, we go to item 4, House Bill 489. Call the bill up and make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized to explain the bill.
Mr. Speaker, this bill was filed as also by the lady from DeSoto. Again, don't see her here at the moment, but I know she takes great pride in her bill, so I wanted her to everybody to know where the bill was filed. I also spoke with a gentleman from her area. Is also a friend of mine, business person up in the Hernando area, who has had city government, local government, county government, or state government or utilities take and acquire some of his personal land by eminent domain. And so this issue came up, and he asked me, why should we be forced to pay a tax on land that we're forced to sell? And I thought he had a really good point. So what this bill would do, it would exempt from income tax the forced, if a piece of land, a property is, if there's a forced sale by eminent domain, it would say that there is no capital gains tax owed on that transaction. And so that's what the bill does.
Questions on the bill? Lady from Hines, Ms. Summers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the gentleman yield?
Sure.
Okay, walk me through this again, gentlemen. If a property is taken by eminent domain, the entity that's taking the property will not have to pay any income taxes on that property.
No, ma'am. The property owner would not have to pay any income tax.
The property owner will
That's
not.
right.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay.
I don't see any further questions,
I
gentlemen.
move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 120 yeas, 0 nays, the bill passes. Next item, Mr. Chairman.
House Bill 715. I'd call the bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized, gentlemen, to explain the bill.
House Bill 715 is simply clarifies the current exemption we have for food being sold to food pantries, and just states that right now there's a distinguishing feature in the law between perishable food and non-perishable food. And this would just clarify that both types of food receive the exemption for no sales tax to food pantries. This bill comes to us from the lady from Hattiesburg area. Glad to pass your bill, lady. Hopefully. We'll see.
Questions on the bill? I don't see any, gentlemen.
I move final adoption.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 120 yeas, 0 nays, the bill passes. Next item, Mr. Chairman.
Item 6, House Bill 1063. We call the bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Gentlemen, I see you got a committee sub.
I'd next move to adopt a committee sub.
All right, gentleman moves to adopt the committee sub for consideration in lieu of the original bill. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized to explain the committee sub.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the committee sub on House Bill 1063, this is dealing with a local tax issue. This bill would add in our existing alternative energy code sections where they have the ability to take fee in lieu, offer fee in lieus down to 10%. This would allow them to exempt additional value of property, and it would also add the storage of energy to our existing existing items that qualify. Right now, it's solar, wind, and the like, and this would add the storage of energy, which is purported to me to be large-scale batteries that would store power, and it would add those to that category under existing law. That's an explanation.
Questions on the bill? I don't see any, gentlemen.
I'd move final passage.
You moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote 115 yeas, 0 nays, the bill passes. Next item, Mr. Chairman.
Item 7, House Bill 1793. I'd call the bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read a third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You recognize, gentlemen.
I'd move that we adopt the committee sub.
Gentleman moves that the committee sub be adopted for consideration in lieu of the original bill. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You recognize to explain the committee sub.
This committee sub would simply add gun safes, the purchase of gun safes, to our Second Amendment sales tax holiday. That is an explanation.
Questions on the bill? I don't see any, gentlemen.
I'd move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 109 yeas, 3 nays, the bill passes. Next item, Mr. Chairman.
The next item we'll take up is House Bill 1941, item 8.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read a third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You recognize, gentlemen, to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We are on House Bill 1941. This bill, this bill is dealing with our Outdoor Stewardship Trust Fund. When this was adopted several years ago, there was a 3%. We discussed 2 to 3% on the admin fee, and we also discussed funding it by way of a sales tax diversion off of firearms and related outdoor sporting equipment and goods. That did not happen. The Senate has refused to do a diversion to fund it. The original projections were around $20 million as a result, and as we contemplated at the time, it has struggled to at times to get the same funding at the appropriation level, and so it's been $15 million one year, $12 million one year, $10 million one year, and so the 2% administrative fee that they're allowed that funds the staff there at the office has not kept up for those reasons. And so this bill would move that 2% admin fee to 3%. It would also authorize $5 million in bonds to make up for some of the lost revenue there over the past few years. And that's an explanation.
Questions on the bill? I don't see any, gentlemen.
I'd move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 118 yeas, 0 nays, the bill passes. Next item, Mr. Chair.
We'd move to item 9, House Bill 1942. Call that bill up and make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You recognize, gentlemen, to explain the bill.
Yeah, so House Bill 1942 introduces a new type of revenue bond referred to as a conduit bond underneath our tax increment financing, or TIF, code section. This is a bond that will be done at the local level. Again, would be a revenue bond that's pledged, the payment of which is pledged from proceeds by the developer from proceeds from the development, and in exchange, the developer would then in turn pledge collateral associated with the development, would be pledged as collateral for the security for that bond and those payments. And that's an explanation.
Questions on the bill? Gentleman from Prentice, Mr. Turner.
Introduction out of order, Mr. Speaker.
All right, gentlemen, I'll get right to you. I don't see any further questions on the
I
bill.
move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 116 yeas, 0 nays, the bill passes. Gentleman from, where are you from?
Prentice. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, today I would like for you to help me welcome some good friends of mine from Wheeler, Mississippi, the FFA group up in the North Gallery, and Mr. Stephen Byrd, and he's brought those down here to visit with the House of Representatives. Make them welcome, please.
Welcome. Gentlemen, I didn't know which group you had here. I thought you might have wanted to be the gentleman from Wheeler, so I couldn't get Wheeler pulled. But anyway, thank you. Your folks are certainly welcome here. Gentlemen, you're recognized for further work on the calendar.
Right on time, lady. Mr. Speaker, the lady from Shibuya thought we started at 2, but she's now right on time. Somebody in the Ways and Means office told her we started at 2 today. I don't know who that could have been.
She was just hoping you wouldn't get here till 2. But I'm glad y'all are seeing eye to eye now.
Right on time. House Bill 10, House Bill 1944. I'd call the bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules to be suspended. The bill considered engrossed, read the third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it.
I'd move that we adopt the committee sub.
Gentleman moves that we adopt the committee sub for consideration in lieu of the original bill. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized to explain the committee sub.
The committee sub takes the exact same bill that we passed last year on the Children's Promise Act, which is dealing with tax credits for foster care and educational nonprofits. This has been one of our most successful and sought after tax credit programs, if not the most, throughout the state. Done a tremendous amount of good, saved a tremendous amount of taxpayer dollars ever since it was first adopted in 2019. This body has voted to expand those credits from their current $18 million, and this would take them to $40 million over the next 3 years. Again, split half between foster care nonprofits, half between educational nonprofits, and the committee sub actually adds a new code section dealing with facilities for adults with mental handicap, and would create a new $1 million tax credit that would help with some of those facilities that do the Lord's work in those areas across Mississippi. And that is an explanation.
Questions on the bill? Gentleman from Prentice, Mr. Turner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the gentleman yield?
Be glad to.
Gentlemen, for the last couple of years, haven't we fully funded public education?
Gentlemen, since I came here in 2012 through today, public K-12 education is funded at a level of approximately $1.2 to $1.3 billion more than it was when I first came here. So I think the answer is yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think we've showed goodwill and intent to fully fund education since we've been in control of the House, and we've got a good nucleus of people supporting education now. So do you see anything in this bill that would keep us from fully funding public education?
Absolutely not. So
thank you, sir.
Despite what a few people who don't care about the truth may have said out in the public spaces, this bill does not take 1 cent from K-12 public education. In fact, this bill right here does a tremendous amount of good. It helps people tremendously across Mississippi, and it hurts absolutely no one. That's a God's honest truth.
Gentleman from Adams, Mr. Johnson.
Thank you. Will the gentleman yield?
I thought we finished yesterday, gentlemen.
We did. Just for a point of clarification.
Okay.
When you say nonprofit educational institutions, private schools, Hartfield Academy, Jackson Academy, those are nonprofit educational institutions.
There's a list of about 100 of them on the DOR's website that qualify, gentlemen. I believe the 2 that you just mentioned do. I would also mention to you Redeemer School, Delta Streets, And you can get on the website just like I can, the Magnolia Speech School, specialty purpose schools,
Yeah.
including some schools in your neck of the woods, my neck of the woods,
right.
all over the state.
That I don't want to give a tax credit of this size to, because they are private schools, and we're taking public money. Taking public money that would otherwise go in the general fund and giving it to private schools.
I'll respond to that, gentlemen. This is a tax incentive program, ladies and gentlemen. You know, just a few pages earlier in our code is a tax incentive whereby this state and the tax code of this state allows you and each of your representatives to take a tax deduction for writing checks to your local church. So by the gentleman's logic and the logic of a few well-paid liars that don't care about the truth outside of this body, you know, this body funds churches every Sunday. Now, everybody in here knows that's not true. This is the exact same type of tax incentive line of thinking. And so I want the world to know this is what the gentleman said. I disagree completely with, and we'll just leave it at that.
Lady from Hines, Ms. Yates.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the gentleman yield?
Be glad to.
I get this question every year, so I'm just going to ask it again. Yeah. I do not receive a tax credit for paying my contractual tuition to the school. Is that correct?
That's correct.
It has to be a tax donation separate and apart from that tuition.
If you want to participate, you need to pay your tuition and participate in the program on top of that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gentleman from Washington, Mr. Hines.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gentleman here.
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, is it true that some institutions have got as much as 400,000,
It's capped at 405 under current law.
So how many institutions have received that amount of money?
There's about approximately 100 of them, give or take a few, that are qualified, is my understanding.
So 100 have received $400,000 worth
I would
of tax
say no, because and I don't know if you're talking about foster care institutions, educational institutions.
I'm talking about
Okay.
The private educational institutions.
Okay, so you don't want the numbers for the foster care side?
Well, the foster children have had a hard enough time. Wouldn't you agree?
They do what?
They've had a hard enough time. Just answer the question.
Unfortunately, there's children all over the state that have a hard time, gentlemen. Your town, my town, everywhere.
A simple question.
Yeah.
How many private institutions have received six-figure donations or contributions? That's all I'm asking.
The law, gentlemen, allows a credit for no more than $405,000 per institution with an aggregate cap of $9 million on one side and $9 million on the other side. I don't know.
So have we reached those benchmarks of $9 million on each side?
That's my understanding, yeah. And that's why it needs to be expanded, because a lot of people, contrary to what you're saying, have not received it.
So giving these tax credits is more important than funding institutions that need dormitories?
I don't know what institutions you're talking about, Jim.
Several institutions that this body have requested from this body to have new dormitories and housing on their grounds. So is giving that tax credit more important than allowing children to have coverage on those dormitories, on those
No, sir.
campuses?
I think, again, the tax credit program is not an appropriation. The items you're talking about are appropriations that we fund every year. The institutions receive taxpayer dollars and other direct bonds that I'm aware of, gentlemen, if I know what you're talking about.
So I just want to make sure you're telling me at least 100 institutions in this state have received up to $400,000 in tax credit.
No. I'm telling you, 100 plus or minus institutions have qualified to participate.
Okay.
Thank you.
Lady from Hines, Ms. Summers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Would the gentleman yield?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question. So will this bill allow schools to double dip funding? Can they receive ESA funding and CPA funding on the same student population?
I didn't know we passed an ESA program, lady.
The scholarship?
You talking about the special needs?
Yeah, the
current
special
ESA that we have?
You get tax credits for that program, correct?
No, ma'am. That's a direct $6,000 to the child or the parents of the child. And what that parent does with the child, if that parent chooses to send that to a certain school, that $6,000 child or money that follows that child would not prohibit that school from participating in the program, if that answers your question.
You said it would not prevent?
Would not. That's right.
Okay, so the parent can receive that scholarship as well as a tax credit for providing more?
No, ma'am. The parents do not receive a tax credit under this program.
They do not receive a tax credit on this program?
Parents do not receive a tax credit. No.
Okay, you just told the gentleman that we've given six-figure tax credits to some schools?
No. What I said is if a entity, foster care entity, or an educational entity qualify, then on the education side, they're capped at no more than 405 per the law.
Per what, I'm sorry?
Per the terms of the law in the statute. That's what the current statute says.
Okay. Do we give the same type of benefits to public schools?
We fund public schools directly, lady, to the tune of about $3.4 billion.
Are they getting any type of
We don't give tax credits to public entities. Cities, counties, the government does not give tax credits.
So the tax credits that are received, are they discretionary?
I don't know that I follow what you mean by that.
Are
The private entities apply to DOR for them, and it's a first-come, first-served basis.
And they can use the funding how they see fit?
They have to use it for the areas serving those children that are outlined in the statute.
Okay. Do we provide any discretionary funding for public schools?
I believe we do.
We do?
I believe we do.
And how? How so?
Well, those local school boards get to decide how they spend their state taxpayer dollars. I think that's discretion.
Is it the same thing, though?
I think you're trying to compare apples and oranges, and I don't see it being the same thing at all. So I think maybe we agree.
I don't think so. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right.
Gentleman from Pearl River, Mr. Ladner.
Thank you. Will the gentleman yield?
Yes, sir. I'd be glad to.
$405,000 limit. Is that a total aggregate limit, or is that per donor?
No, sir. That's per entity that receives them.
That's total aggregate per entity?
Per entity, that's right.
All right, of all donors?
Yes.
Got you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gentleman from Monroe, Mr. Crosby.
Will gentleman yield?
I'd be glad to, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir. Quick question for me is, so is there any type of safeguard from the level of children involved to receive this tax credit? Can a school get this credit whether they have one child, or is there a certain threshold that must be met to get this tax credit?
They have to meet the terms of the statute currently. That's right. And they're
those terms
certified by DOR. I can get you that language. Hold on one second. Yeah, that language is found on page 2 of the bill, gentlemen.
Understood, sir. Last question for me is I believe that firmly every child, of course, should be taken care of, but do we feel, and this is just a question between you and me, do we feel that in the efforts that we're making to put $35 million out there for private schools, are we making the same push for our public schools, which are just as in dire need for that money?
Well, gentlemen, I didn't take math classes yesterday, but the current $9 million under current law that are allowed for schools under this tax credit, I believe, is less than the $3.4 billion we fund the public school system with.
Absolutely. Would you not agree, though, we're still behind schedule?
I believe that the current leadership in this body over the last several years has demonstrated above and beyond our desire, and not just desire, our successful implementation of full public school funding. And I don't think that can be questioned by anyone, anywhere.
I thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Gentleman from Pike, Mr. Porter. He passes. Gentleman from Marshall, Mr. Faulkner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Chairman, you yield?
Be glad to.
Mr. Chairman, how are the private schools that are receiving these tax credits held to the same accountability standards as public schools?
They're not. They're not. An independent school, an accredited independent school, has its own accountability measures where they take standardized tests, think Stanford Achievement Test at the elementary level or ACT classes and test at the higher levels. But if they're an accredited institution, which they have to be to participate in the program, they have their own standards that they have to follow.
So it is different, right?
It is different, yes.
Yes.
Yes, they are different.
My last question, Mr. Chairman, what enforcement mechanisms are in place if this money is misused?
In order for these institutions to maintain their accreditation, they have to go through regular audits. A regular audit, just like a public school has to go through regular audits. So do the accredited private schools.
Will this body have any way of knowing that, or have any way of, I guess, oversight as to what these institutions are doing with these dollars? Will we know in this body?
I think the state agency that is tasked with that would be the Department of Revenue, where they have to certify and go through the process of certifying that the schools meet the qualifications in the law.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Lady from Hines, Ms. Yates.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the gentleman yield again?
Be glad to.
I don't think I've ever asked two questions on one bill, but we seem to be conflating some terms, and I just want to make sure that I understand correctly. It is not the private school that receives a tax credit, is that correct? It is the person that is making a donation that receives the tax credit.
To my point to the gentleman earlier, this is a tax incentive program. So the taxpayer, which is not a nonprofit school, the
Correct.
taxpayer receives the credit for making a donation. That's right.
It's the same as if I want to send $10,000 to the United Way, or I want to send $10,000 to St. Andrews, I would get a tax credit regardless.
Yes, you could.
It's
Under
not-
certain programs, you could. You could get a tax benefit. That's right.
Yes, so I just want to make it clear, though, it's not the institution that's receiving the money that receives the credit.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Gentleman from Hines, Mr. Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the gentleman yield?
I'd be glad to for you, gentlemen.
All right, just have a question for you. I want you to walk me through the process.
All right.
So the way this works is a person is able to donate money to this organization. So if I want to give $10,000 to this organization, it comes out of my pocket, not from the state treasury.
That's correct.
So once I donate that money, it reduces my tax liability.
Correct.
Okay. Final question is, I see that there are programs for foster programs and people that serve as foster kids. Can you tell us how beneficial or impactful that's been, or do we have data on
I'd be
that?
glad to. I think I love talking about that. Unfortunately, the politics of the day, because of some untruthful information that some people in the public put out, all they want to focus on the education side. But on the foster care side, those private institutions have saved this state and the taxpayers of this state millions and millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, because they are serving children that this state does not have to place into state custody. So that doesn't even consider the human element of not putting a child into state custody. You go talk to the folks at Child Protection Services, they've got kids on a daily and regular basis living out of hotel rooms and wherever they can put them. How much worse would that problem be if we didn't have our nonprofit and private sector helping us? And so the part of this bill that helps with that, it does just that. It helps save the taxpayers hundreds of millions of dollars, and it keeps children out of state custody.
So gentlemen, just so I'm clear, there is not going to be any money coming out of any state budget going to anybody. This money is from a private person giving to an organization and having their tax liability reduced.
This program has been in existence since 2019, and I'm not aware of one instance where $1 of public money has been spent toward any of these institutions.
And there's no form of school voucher tied to this at all, correct?
Zero.
Thank you, gentlemen.
In fact, during the time period it's been law, we have increased the funding for K-12 public schools tremendously, as I've said earlier.
Lady from Jones, Ms. Scott.
Will the gentleman yield?
I'd be glad to.
Thank you, gentlemen. Gentlemen, will you go to line 59 on the bill? This is a little bit different from what we've been discussing already this morning. On line 59, while you're finding it, it says, from and after January 1st, 2026, that's last month, a credit is also allowed against ad valorem taxes assessed and levied on real property for voluntary cash contributions made by a taxpayer during the taxable year to an eligible charitable organization. Now, that doesn't go to a parent, does it, gentlemen?
What is your question?
Does the language from line 59 to line 63, does that go to a parent who has a child enrolled in school? If they were to trigger that mechanism?
Parents do not receive any money under this program.
Because all of the, and you would agree, that all of the discussion this morning has been about parents having, you know, the opportunity to get this credit. Somebody said something about private schools, and someone else said about what we were giving to public education. But gentlemen, you have to agree that this does not do that. So then can you tell me what was the thinking of the committee to put this language in, and do you know what the impact on the revenue?
Can you tell me what page and line you're on, lady?
It's on page 3, gentlemen.
All right.
Line 59. If you
Lady,
had
I'm
told
afraid
me.
you may not be looking at the committee sub.
Okay, well,
let's get on the right document if we can.
then I'm gonna have to invoke the rule then, because you know we're supposed to have the committee substitute before us. So if I'm operating from the wrong bill, it's because that's all I got over here in front of me. Let me see.
You don't have the committee sub, lady?
We gonna look, Mr. Speaker. We got the old bill that was in the committee.
I'll give you just a moment to look, see.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker.
So, lady, I think a few lines down, maybe where you're talking about, the credit has been allowed for against ad valorem taxes for every type of business entity except C corporations. Okay, so this just adds corporations to that to participate in that side of it. That's all.
Okay, but aren't we supposed to be, I thought when you explained this bill that we were talking about $1 million for mentally handicapped children, that 50% credits, 50% for foster care, a $40 million tax credit. It was going to be some monies for disabled adults. It's 1944. And when you explained the bill yesterday, I'm trying to get you to tell me, how does what you have just said, how does that impact contributions for charitable organizations that's supposed to be helping these entities that you articulated?
I believe it would help. If you're talking about the entities that would receive the funding, it would help them meet the needs that allow them to participate in the program.
Okay, gentlemen, I just, you know, the whole conversation has been about that we were helping parents and that we were supposed to be doing tax credits for children, for the disabled, for all of that. And I just wanted the House to see that this bill is going much further than that. Much further.
Gentleman from Alcorn, for what purpose?
Introduction out of order.
All right, let me get right to you. I don't see any further questions. Gentlemen, does that conclude your explanation?
It does. I'd move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 80 yeas, 35 nays, the bill passes. Gentleman from Leek, Mr. Holloway.
Introduction.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of yourself, the gentleman from Holmes, Representative Clark, and myself, we have with us today FFA students of Kosciuszko, McAdams, Elta, And they also have with them Kenneth Georgia, a Tyler County FFA instructor. And they have a Tyler County B4 supervisor, Willie Petit. And Kosciuszko Ward 2 Alderman, Henry Dames. We everyone make them welcome.
Welcome. Sharp group of kids from God's country, we'll say, right? I enjoyed getting to meet with them this morning. Bright futures in that group, and I want to thank their advisor, Mr. George, and those other two guys flanking you up there, gentlemen, for getting these kids to the Capitol today. I appreciate it, and I know they appreciate it too. Welcome to y'all's Capitol. Gentleman from Alcorn, Mr. Maddox.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the North Gallery, former Alcorn County friend of mine, he's here with the state FFA officers. So I'd like for them to stand up and be recognized.
Welcome. Good to have y'all here. Gentleman from George, Mr. Lott.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of myself and the gentleman from Pearl River, I'd like to introduce our Stone County FFA officers in the South Gallery, along with their instructor, Whitney Sullivan. Thank y'all for being here today.
Welcome. Gentleman from Madison, Mr. Blackman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Introduction.
Yes, sir.
Friends, if you would turn your attention to the gallery to my right, I would like to welcome the best fire department in the land, our Canton, Mississippi Fire Chief, Kenna Pierce, Assistant Chief Kelvin Luckett, Training Officer Eric Redmond, and Ridgeland Captain Willie Jackson. Give them a warm welcome, friends. Welcome to your captain.
Gentleman from Choctaw, Mr. Hood.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, it's my pleasure to introduce our doctor of the day. His name is M. Craig Moffitt. He practices family medicine in Oktibbeha Hall County in Mabin and in Webster County. He is the medical director and connected care partners with North Mississippi Medical Health Services, and he's also at the Mabin Medical Clinic. Please help make him welcome.
Welcome, Doc. Thank you for being here and taking care of us. I recognize the chairman.
We'll see if we can get back on track, Mr. Speaker. I'd move to item 11, House Bill 1989. Call that bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed read the third time and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed no. The ayes have it. You're recognized to explain the bill.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, House Bill 1989 would very simply exempt from sales tax the electric usage used at the Neshoba County Fair. That's an explanation of the bill.
Questions on the bill? I don't see any, gentlemen.
Move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By vote 110 yeas, 1 nay, the bill passes. Next item, Mr. Chairman.
We have item 12, House Bill 4014. I call that bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed read the third time and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed no. The ayes have it. You're recognized, gentlemen, to explain the bill.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bill would very simply remove NIL payments from the definition of taxable income.
Questions on the bill? I'm sorry, lady from Hines, Ms. Yates.
Will the gentleman yield?
I would.
Is this limited only to athletes? And if so, is there a reason?
Generally, it deals with NIL. So generally, NIL is
name, image, likeness.
Yes. Name,
so if somebody wanted to pay me to put my picture on a billboard, that would not be tax exempt.
No, ma'am.
Is there a reason?
The reason is the reason that's all we do in this bill. So you want to talk about everything else, the NIL is something that is, taking the country kind of by storm in the college sports arena the last few years. There's other states doing it. I believe Mississippi needs to remain competitive in that arena. We've made a policy decision over the last 10 years, and which finalized last year, in exempting all income tax. We currently exempt the first 25,000 or so, 30,000, somewhere in that ballpark of taxation anyway. What you have in NIL, I have concerns about these young kids, a lot of them, being paid money, a lot of cash money, a lot of deals. They've been forced into, or really thrust into, certainly willingly, but thrust into an arena where they're seeing money that they've never seen before. They're not getting, in a lot of ways, they're not getting the advice, and I'm worried they've been going on a couple years now, and so the chickens may be coming home to roost soon about some of these kids getting in civil and even criminal tax liabilities because of what's going on in the NIL world. So as we move toward a no income tax state, the committee chose to pass this bill out, and I believe it makes sense to help these kids in this arena.
I don't have a problem helping the kids. I just don't think it goes far enough. I think if we're going to give a tax exemption, we need to give it.
Well, lady, I think myself and this body has demonstrated
very
our
Republican
willingness
today.
to get there. I would love to get there a little faster, but our friends down the hall didn't want to do that last year, so we got what we got, but we're headed in the right direction.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gentleman from Monroe, Mr. Crosby.
Well, gentlemen, you?
Yes, sir.
Just quick question. Does this also include agents?
No.
No? Thank you, sir.
Gentleman from Pike, Mr. Porter.
Gentlemen, will you yield?
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, we're giving out voting on a lot of tax exemption bills today. And if we keep doing it, how's the state going to make any money?
Well, we voted to eliminate the income tax last year, or some of us did.
Okay. No, I wasn't one of them. I was just curious how we were going to make any money and keep the state running.
Gentlemen, I would just point out that I don't think anybody's really paying any taxes on NIL currently, because this is a brand new thing. So I don't see it costing us any money.
Gentleman from DeSoto, Mr. Eubanks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will gentlemen yield?
Yeah, be glad to.
Gentlemen, this is for income they receive for using their name, image, and likeness as an athlete in the colleges and wherever, right?
That's right.
Why would they not be taxed like any other employee that gets a...
Well, under current law, they would.
Right. So,
yeah.
But is the only incentive for us doing that is because other states are doing it, or?
Well, let's just say in the southeastern part of the United States, you've got schools like Texas, Tennessee, Florida, who already are at that no income tax level. So they're certainly using it against our in-state schools. You've got other states, in addition to Mississippi, that have an income tax that are doing this as well. So, yeah, there's a factor to remain competitive in that world and not put Mississippi, our young kids, at a disadvantage. But it's also a human factor as well. I mean, a lot of these kids are getting money and incurring tax liabilities that they don't know what to do with or are not prepared to deal with at 19, 20 years old.
Correct, but I mean, I understand if this is a recruiting tool, but as far as like income taxes go, we've done a lot of good things and progress towards phasing out the income tax. I just don't know why they're being treated different than any other person that goes to Starbucks.
I hear you, and here's what I tell you. This is a new tax, okay? I don't think anybody was filing tax returns based off, $100 handshakes pre-NIL, okay? So it's a new tax from that. This is a new arena, and if you come to me, if there is a new arena that pops up next year that we're not currently getting revenue off of, I'll consider exempting that as well, because that's where we're headed as a state, no income tax. And so that's kind of my thought. If this was an existing deal that had been taxed for years and years and years, then they would probably be in the same boat as everybody else.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Gentleman from Jefferson, Mr. Harness.
Introduction after order, Mr. Speaker.
I'll get right to you. I see no further questions on the bill.
Move final passage.
Did you have a question on the bill?
Yes, sir.
All right, you're recognized for a question.
Gentlemen, this bill helped the
universities be more competitive with other states and other schools?
I agree with you, gentlemen.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
I see no further questions. You move final passage?
I do.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. Favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 76 yeas, 32 nays, bill passes. Gentleman from Union, Mr. Creekmore. You're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, in the North Gallery, it is my honor today to welcome the Mississippi Food Collaborative. Will y'all please stand? This collaborative is made up of 3 incredible organizations: the Mississippi Food Network, Feeding the Gulf Coast, and the Mid-South Food Bank. Together, these organizations work tirelessly to fight hunger, support families, strengthen children and seniors, and ensure every Mississippian in every corner of our state has access to nutritious food. And today, they're offering to feed us at noon at the Hen and Egg located at the Sun and Sand. So please help me make welcome these saints from Mississippi Food Bank Collaborative to the Capitol today, and thank them for their essential work.
Welcome. We appreciate the jobs and the mission that y'all do, and we thank you for being at your Capitol today. Gentleman from Itawamba, Mr. Boyd.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the South Gallery just above me, I'd like for you to help me welcome the American Council of Engineering Companies and the Board of Licensure for Professional Engineers and Surveyors. They're here today to celebrate National Engineering Week. And for 75 years, the Engineer Week has been celebrated in industry and profession that solves problems and shapes everyday life and designs a better world. So if you would, help me welcome them.
Welcome. Good to have you all at your Capitol. Gentleman from Jefferson, Mr. Harness.
Well, she's gone now, but I would like for you to make welcome one of my former students, Adrian Feld. She was in the North Gallery.
We know you taught her well, gentlemen. Gentleman from Green, Mr. Birch.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the North Gallery, my friend, help make him welcome Mr. Josh Everett. He's a leader at the Greene County FFA program.
Welcome, sir. Mr. Chairman, you're recognized for further work.
Thank you. We go to item 13, House Bill 4032. Call that bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended. The bill considered engrossed, read the 3rd time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, House Bill 4032 is a bill that we passed first 2 years ago, I believe. Didn't have a lot of help from the Hospital Association at the time, even though this bill is designed to help rural hospitals. They have since, I think, come around to the idea, and what this bill would do would provide a new tax credit program that would be designed to assist, similar to the Children's Promise Act, that would assist rural hospitals throughout the state. It would be authorize $18 million in credits the first year and move up to a 3-year phase-in where it would be capped at $30 million. And again, only those hospitals that qualify as rural hospitals would be able to participate in the program. One feature of the program is that in order to participate, and I think this is relevant, the hospitals would be required to have an appropriate professional consultant and CPA hired to help them move toward best practices for rural hospitals. So it's designed to assist rural hospitals, at the same time incentivize them to implement best practices that will help them be more streamlined, more competitive, and have a better chance for success going forward. And so that's an explanation of the program.
Questions on the bill? Gentleman from Pike, Mr. Porter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gentleman, will you yield?
Yes, sir.
Gentleman, I was trying to find it. Is rural hospital defined in the legislation?
One second. Gentlemen, if you look at page 1, where it defines eligible hospital, that's where you'll find that.
Okay, gentlemen, thanks.
You're welcome.
Gentleman from Marshall, Mr. Faulkner. You pass. I don't see any other questions.
I'd move final passage.
Gentleman moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. For the bill, vote aye. Opposed, no. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 119 yeas, 0 nays, bill passes. Recognized for your next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We would go to item 14, House Bill 4033. Call that bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves that the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the third time, placed on final passage. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, no. Ayes have it. Gentlemen, you are recognized to explain the bill.
Yes, sir. House Bill 4033 would define non-resident alien as someone that is located either in their individual capacity or by an owner of an American entity as someone outside of America. And it would state that they do not receive the same tax break that citizens of this country receive on owning agricultural land in the state of Mississippi. It also would specify that there is that they would continue to pay a tax on the capital gains tax on the sale of any purchases inside the state. And that is an explanation of the bill.
Questions on the bill? I don't see any, gentlemen.
I'd move final passage.
I'm sorry, we do have one. Gentleman from Itawamba, Mr. Boyd.
I'll take that back. Hey,
Mr. Chairman, you yield?
Yes, sir.
Are any of the entities that have land in Mississippi now, are they going to, is anything going to change on them?
If they meet the definition of a non-resident alien, then yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Gentleman from DeSoto, Mr. Eubanks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the gentleman yield? This doesn't affect anybody that's a Mississippi resident, right?
Doesn't affect
Legal
anybody
resident.
that's an American citizen.
Or American citizen. All right. Way to go.
Gentleman from Pearl River, Mr. Ladner.
Thank you. Will the gentleman yield?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we've got a lot of companies in here. Weyerhaeuser is one of them, and I hate to pick on Weyerhaeuser, but no, I really don't. But they're listed as a foreign company because they're out of state.
Yeah.
It will not affect them.
No, if they meet the definition of that non-resident alien and they own what's considered ag land in the state of Mississippi, years and years ago, way before we were here, there was a special exemption given to those who own ag land, okay? The calculation of how that's done is different, and they pay a lesser rate on their ad valorem taxes for ag land. It was designed way back when to help encourage Mississippians at the time to own ag land and to help promote farming and agricultural lands across the state. At the same time, we had a previous law on our books that made it illegal for non-resident aliens to own any land in Mississippi. And you'll recall we had a bill about 4 or 5 years ago that changed that, and we specifically legalized the ownership of land inside Mississippi by non-resident aliens. However, when that bill was passed, the formula was not changed to recognize the distinction between, from a tax standpoint. And so now you have non-resident aliens getting the same tax benefit that American citizens get for owning that land. When those non-resident aliens, most times they're not here, they're not headquartered here, they don't live here, they don't pay sales tax, they don't pay income tax. And so this is just designed to help the locals that have a lot of foreign-owned land in their counties, and it will help the American citizens that own land in that counties with the break, at the same time recognizing that distinction.
Well, we got a lot of timber land down around me. It don't affect timberland at all?
It will, if they meet the definition of non-resident alien.
We got a bunch of those, yeah.
Then those would be affected.
Listed on the Secretary of State as a foreign LLC just from another state.
No. We're not talking about LLCs from other states or people from other states. This is outside of America.
It's outside the country.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
I don't see any other questions.
I'd move final passage.
Gentleman moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 106 yeas, 8 nays, bill passes. Next.
Yep. Mr. Speaker, next we go to item 15, House Bill 4039. Call that bill up. Make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves that the rules be suspended, the bill considered in gross, read the third time, placed on final passage. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, no. Ayes have it. Gentlemen, you're recognized to explain the bill. You got a committee sub?
We do have a committee sub. I'd move to adopt the committee sub.
Gentleman moves that committee substitute be adopted in consideration of the lieu of the original bill. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, no. Ayes have it. Gentlemen, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill, House Bill 4039, comes to us at a request from our business community. The current child care tax credit is not working. It's not being utilized by our employers across the state. So this bill is an effort to make the tax credit that would encourage employers to provide child care for their employees more usable or user-friendly, and therefore more successful. And so what this bill would do would take the minimum requirements down to a minimum of $2,000, maximum of $3,000 per child, a maximum of $50,000 per employer, and an aggregate cap of $5 million. It would also authorize, in addition to the credit, it would authorize them to give them the option for a 75% rebate that they could then spend at an eligible child care entity to help take care of their employees' children while they're at work. That concludes my explanation.
Questions on the bill? I don't see any, gentlemen.
I move final passage.
Moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 120 yeas, 0 nays, bill passes. Hang on one second, gentlemen. Recognize the gentleman from Jones, Mr. Scoggins, for an introduction.
Yes, sir, Mr. Speaker. I'd like, on behalf of the Jones County delegation, to introduce two optometrists that are here, Dr. Justin and Dr. Tiffany McElroy. They're here, and they're from Laurel and have a clinic there in Laurel. Welcome.
Gentleman from Simpson, Mr. Wallace.
Introduction, Mr. Speaker.
You're recognized.
Thank you, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome from Mississippi Optometry Association, Kayla Teeter. She's practicing in McGee, Simpson County. I don't know if she's in the north or south balcony. Stand up, please. Thank you.
Lady from Hines, Ms. Summers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Introduction.
Introduction.
Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome in the South Gallery Miss Yvonne Horton, Election Commissioner for Hines County District 4. Hi, Ms. Horton.
Gentleman from Lauderdale, Mr. Calvert.
Introduction. Ladies and gentlemen in the North Gallery, please help me welcome my optometrist, Dr. Mean Young. Please make him feel welcome.
Gentleman from Hines, Mr. Gibbs.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Introduction.
You're recognized.
In the North Gallery, I would like to introduce Dr. Channing Wells, optometrist, practicing in Hazelhurst. We're glad to have you at the Capitol.
Gentleman from Washington, Mr. Hines.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Introduction. Would you please help welcome our very own Una McKenzie's sister, Dr. Monique Carr, who's an optometrist in Byron. Please help her feel welcome.
Gentleman from Lauderdale, Mr. Elliott.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm going to piggyback off of what Representative Calvert said, I didn't see my good friend up there, Dr. Mean Young. It's a pleasure to have you. Can we give him a round of applause one more time?
Gentleman from Green, Mr. Birch.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. On behalf of myself and the gentleman from George, Mr. Lott, I'd like you to recognize and make welcome Dr. Greg Luce, practices in Lucedale and Wiggins.
Gentleman from Simpson, Mr. Wallace.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Introduction.
You're recognized.
In the North Gallery, I'd like to recognize my optometrist, Dr. Stephen Reed. And ladies and gentlemen, also today at the Old Capitol Inn from 12 to 1:30, they're having a lunch.
Thank you. Gentleman from Rankin, Ms. Hurst. Mr. Hurst.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to introduce Dr. Marjorie Lenoir, who practices in Gluckstadt in Columbia. Y'all make her welcome.
Gentleman from Hines, Mr. Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to introduce my constituent as well as optometrist, Dr. Shunning, up in the gallery. Look, I'll be there to see you soon as I need some new eyes. So I didn't see you at first, but thank you for visiting us today.
Lady from Hines, Ms. Foster.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to introduce my optometrist out of Byron, Mississippi, Dr. Carr.
That's all the introductions we've got. Gentlemen, you're recognized to go to your next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We go to item 16, House Bill 4040. Call the bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves that the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the third time, and placed on final passage. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, no. Ayes have it. Gentlemen, you're recognized to explain the bill.
House Bill 4040, ladies and gentlemen, is similar to the bill we passed a couple weeks ago, where we're trying to do some innovative things to help our farmers. This would take the 1.5% sales tax and take half of it, or 50% of it, and put it into a new fund at MDA that could only be used. Let me back up. The bill we passed a couple weeks ago dealt with a grant program for help farmers with equipment purchases. So this would be in lieu of that. It's really just another offering that we would do to help our farming community. But what this bill would do would take the same amount of money, half of the proceeds that hit the general fund from that 1.5% sales tax, be about $5 million a year, would go into this fund at MDA, where in turn the fund would only be used to help recruit economic development industries that would assist our farming and timber communities. You know, think mills and, you know, middlemen, areas that may purchase commodities, you know, from farmers or work with them to help them sell their product here in the state. It would be a $5 million annual pot of money that would be used every single year ongoing to help the farming industry. If you talk to your farmers, if we could open up more markets and more businesses for them to be able to sell their products to, I think that would help them more than anything. And so that's what this bill is. It's another effort to help our farmers, and that concludes my explanation.
Questions on the bill? I don't see any, gentlemen.
I'd move final passage.
Moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 119 yeas, 0 nays, bill passes. Next.
Yes, sir, Mr. Speaker. Next, we would go to item 17, House Bill 4044. Call that bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves that the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the third time, placed on final passage. All those in favor say aye. All opposed, no. Ayes have it. Gentlemen, you're recognized to explain the bill.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bill would take the homestead exemption that individuals otherwise qualify for. This is dealing with people who owe state tax debt to the Department of Revenue. Under current law, even though they qualify for homestead exemption, they own their home and meet all the qualifications, the law does not let them receive that credit because they owe state tax debt. But however, we discovered that the money that they pay, the extra $300 that they still have to pay, does not go to satisfy the tax debt. So this would just say that it would, if they otherwise, if a person who owes tax debt, a taxpayer owes tax debt to the state, and they otherwise qualify for homestead exemption, then that $300 that they would normally get, they don't get it. However, they pay the $300, but however, that money would then go to the state to help satisfy their state tax debt. So it's a way to help the state collect the debts that are owed. And that's my explanation.
Questions on the bill? Gentleman from Knoxville, Mr. Meekins.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Introduction out of order.
Hang on one second. Get right back to you. I don't see any other questions.
I'd move final passage.
Moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 118 yeas, 0 nays, bill passes. Next, you have another bill?
Mr. Speaker, if you would allow me to, I think the gentleman has an introduction.
Hang on one second. We do have an introduction. Gentleman from Knoxville, Mr. Meekins, I apologize.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, help me make welcome Dr. Royce Miles, practicing in Macon and Eupora. Let's make him feel welcome.
Gentleman from DeSoto, Mr. Harris.
Introduction.
You're recognized, gentlemen.
Please help me welcome in the North Gallery Dr. Hunter Edwards, who practices up in Hernando. Welcome to the Capitol.
Gentleman from Tacoma, Mr. Williams.
Mr. Speaker, introduction out of order.
You're recognized.
Thank you. In the North Gallery, would you help me welcome Dr. Mallory Collins, an optometrist in Clarksdale.
We're down to this one right here. He was just fixing, I think, to hold his place on the calendar.
All right, go ahead. I don't know. Where are we now? 19. Next item, gentlemen.
Well, we're introducing everybody, Mr. Speaker. I've got somebody I'd like to introduce as well. If the body would allow me to introduce my Senatobia Fire Chief, my good friend Ethan Forsman in the South Gallery, and Miss Shantae Roan. I see her up there as well. There they are. They're some of Senatobia's finest, and they make us proud. Help me welcome them to the Capitol.
Welcome. Lady from Hines, Miss Summers.
Introduction, Mr.
Yes,
Speaker.
ma'am.
Ladies and gentlemen of the House, on behalf of my designated Representative Noah Sanford, please help welcome Dr. Evan Stout, a practicing optometrist from Collins, as well as Dr. Michael Phillips, a practicing optometrist from the city of Ridgeland. Thank you.
Welcome. Gentleman from Leet, Mr. Holloway.
Introduction.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of yourself, Representative Clark, myself, we have Dr. Larry Rout that's here from Kosciuszko. Everybody make him welcome.
Welcome, Doc. Good to see you. Good to have you here. All right, gentlemen, you're recognized for further work.
Mr. Speaker, we're going to pass over item 18 for now. We would move to item 19, House Bill number 4060. Call that bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed read a third time and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed no. The ayes have it. You're recognized to explain the bill.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, item 19, House Bill 4060 is another effort to help our farmers. This would just clarify, DOR seems to, from reports that we've received, seems to have decided that lime does not count as an agricultural input and therefore being exempt from sales tax. So this clarifies that lime would be exempt from sales tax, and it also would place fencing materials, take them out of the 7% category and place them into the 1.5% ag category that we currently exist for farm equipment and other service work that the farmers enjoy. So that would be another effort to yet help our farmers in these difficult times.
Questions on the bill? Lady from Hines, Ms. Yates.
Thank you. Will the gentleman yield?
Please.
I have probably what's a dumb question, but how do we know the difference between the retail sale of fencing materials that will contain livestock versus the sale of retail sale of fencing that will contain my dog?
So that's a fine question, but the 1.5% sales tax rate only applies to farmers who file a Schedule F, and they have to present those qualifications.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't see any further questions, gentlemen.
I'd move final adoption.
He moves final passage. Open machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 114 yeas, 0 nays, the bill passes. Next item, gentlemen.
Mr. Speaker, we're going to pass over item 20 at this time, and we'll move to item 21, House Bill number 4065.
All right.
I'd move that we call that bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Gentlemen, you're recognized.
I move to adopt the committee sub.
Gentleman moves to adopt the committee sub for consideration in lieu of the original bill. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized, gentlemen, to explain the committee sub.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this bill is a bill that we've passed a few times. It is, this may be the third year that we've passed this bill. This bill comes to us in a way hoping to prevent something that none of us ever want to see, and that would be a bad guy with a gun on some of our K-12 campuses across Mississippi. This bill has died in the Senate. I want to publicly encourage the Senate to take this bill up. This would create, with an initial $5 million contribution to seed the program, it would create a grant program at the Department of Public Safety, who would then partner with the local law enforcement agencies, either the sheriff's office or the police departments all across the state, and the local school campuses, not the school, but each school campus in this state would be allowed to then apply for a 75% cost share through a grant, and they would receive, in conjunction, if they were approved, they would receive a fully trained, authorized, registered school resource officer that his only and sole job would be to protect that school campus. This is a program that is would be similar to the law that the state of Tennessee passed a few years ago after the tragedy that they had in the Nashville school shooting that I'm sure all of you remember. And so I never want us to, speaking for myself, look at inwardly to have a tragedy like that happen in Mississippi, know that we had the ability to do something about it to help prevent it, and we did not act. And so that's what this bill would do. It would not require anybody to participate, but the goal is that it would encourage schools all over the state to place a fully trained, authorized, good guy with a gun protecting every K-12 school campus in Mississippi. That's an explanation of the bill.
Lady from Jones.
Parliamentary inquiry, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Speaker, this bill on the Ways and Means calendar, item 21, it is designated as a revenue bill, right?
That's what the calendar says, yes, ma'am.
Is it a revenue bill, Mr. Speaker?
I'm assuming if council couched it that way, it is. I can check with council and 100% tell you that. We don't have a history of labeling them otherwise when they're not, but we can pause and be sure.
Thank you.
I believe the chairman's dying to answer that question. But
Mr. Speaker, the bill authorizes $5 million in bonds to seed the program in the event that the appropriation is not given in the first year, and so therefore it makes it a revenue bill, lady.
Mr. Speaker.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a point of order at this time.
All right, bring your point of order forward in writing. We'll suspend business briefly. Gentleman from Forest, Mr. Byrd.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have an introduction out of order, please.
Yes, sir.
In the North Gallery, practicing in Pella, Mississippi, Dr. Paul Marino. Make him welcome.
Welcome, gentlemen.
Okay. Is that okay? Okay, that's fine. I'll have to. Can you do the mayor's trying to kill a bill? You don't help the next solution? Dear Lord. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that, yeah.
Good. I know you specified campus versus each school.
That's right.
So when we saying campus,
I mean, like, for instance, the Centover School District, they're one school system, but they got 3 schools, elementary,
I
middle,
got
high.
10 schools in my district.
Every campus. It don't do good to have a resource officer if he's not at that campus when a bad guy's.
Okay, so you saying campus is the school?
Yes. I'm saying each campus will qualify.
Okay. As a school, though.
So if a school district has 10 campuses, they'd be entitled to get 10 of these grants.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
As soon as the ramp,
well, I
funding
mean,
ramps up.
you saying campus, it's like I could have 3 schools pretty much close together.
Yeah.
Would that be considered a campus, or each one of them would be separate?
If they're separated, I would consider them separate campuses. Okay. We had them, like 900 or something of them across the state. So we had.
All right, ladies, I understand your written point of order. You have, in your point of order, labeled the bill as an appropriation bill. Council informs me it is not, in fact, an appropriation bill. It's a Ways and Means bill that includes bonds. You're citing to the lines about what happens in the year 2027 is looking forward to a future legislature and whatever appropriation they might make. This bill creates the program and bonds to fund it. Council says it is not an appropriation, and therefore your point of order is not well taken. Points of order are not debatable, lady. You've made your point of order in writing, and we're on the advice and consent of council. We rule based on that. Questions on the bill? Gentleman from Marshall, Mr. Faulkner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Chairman, you yield?
Be glad to.
I think you have a good bill here. You said we passed it for the last couple of years. Now, you said that this is a grant program?
That's correct.
So it's a competitive grant?
That's right. It'd be really first come, first serve, and the funding would ramp up. 5 million seated the first year. There's several bunch of school campuses. I mean, it's not just for one school. I mean, if a school has 10 campuses, we want to have one of these officers at each campus. But this would, it would be, the funding for it would increase at $2 million per year as long as there's demand for the program.
So, Mr. Chairman, did the committee give any consideration to maybe making this so that every school around the state who will want to have this would be able to afford it?
Gentlemen, I would love to. But that would be, it's going to take several years to work into the funding for that, and so that's what it's designed to do. If this is the best way to get it started, then I'm willing to do that. If we had an extra full funding right now, I would do it, but this is the best way to get it going.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Gentleman from DeSoto, Mr. Harris.
Introduction.
I'll get right to you. Lady from DeSoto, Ms. McRae, for a question? Okay, I'll get right to y'all. Gentlemen, I see no further questions.
I'd move final adoption.
He moves final passage. Open machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By vote 113 yeas, 3 nays, the bill passes. Gentleman from DeSoto, Mr. Harris.
Introduction.
Yes, sir.
In the North Gallery, please welcome Dr. Sarah Thrower from Hernando. Hope I'm not too late, but welcome to
Welcome,
the
Doc. Gentleman from Harrison, Mr. McKnight.
Yes, before he leaves, I'd like to introduce my optometrist, Dr. Jay Fuller. Make him feel welcome.
Welcome, Doc. Lady from DeSoto, you're recognized.
I was going to do
He just walked out the door, Walter Payne.
Welcome, Doc. Gentlemen, you're recognized for further work.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Next, we go to item 22, House Bill 4066. Call that bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized, gentlemen, to explain the bill.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bill would take our existing New Markets Tax Credit Program, not authorize any additional funding, but it would open what's known as the qualified areas currently. It would open that up to all of the disaster counties that were just authorized as in the most recent disaster declaration for being eligible for participation. I think that's about 18 counties in North Mississippi, and it would go through June of 27, so it's temporary in nature. That's my explanation.
Questions on the bill? I don't see any, gentlemen.
I'd move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By vote 118 yeas, 0 nays, the bill passes. Next item, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, next we would go to item 23, House Bill 4067. Call that bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized to explain the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 4067 is just a placeholder bond bill in the event we may need that later in the session. It currently has $1 million of bonds authorized for various state agencies, and again, those are fictional numbers at this time because we're not at that place or that point in the session yet. This is just designed to be a vehicle should we need it later.
Questions on the bill? I don't see any, gentlemen.
I'd move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By vote 119 yeas, 0 nays, the bill passes. Next item, Mr. Chairman.
Next, we go to item 24, House Bill 4069. Call that bill up and make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized, gentlemen, to explain the bill.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bill comes to us as a request from Entergy Corporation to be treated similar in the nature that let me back up. This is a bill dealing with the most recent winter storm declaration. After Katrina, Mississippi Power was given a similar authorization in helping fund the damage and the cost associated with Katrina. So there is precedent for this. Likewise, this bill would allow Entergy to recoup the costs that it has incurred as a result of the most recent winter storm and the ice storm that we just went through that are projected to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $200 to $250 million. So this bill would authorize revenue bonds that Entergy would then pay us back for dollar, and it would open up essentially cheaper credit than them borrowing those funds on the open market. And the result is savings to the ratepayers of Entergy. So right now, that's how Entergy is going to pay for this storm cost, is by passing that on to our constituents, for those of us who represent the Entergy service area. And so this bill would allow those costs that are passed on to the customers to be significantly less than they would be if they have to go borrow these funds on the open market. That is an explanation of the bill.
Questions on the bill? Gentleman from Hines, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gentleman Gill.
Yes, sir.
It would seem to me good management would mean that these constituents of ours would have a reserve fund that will cover future disasters. I don't understand why they get to raise the rates every time we have a disaster. That means somebody's not planning or somebody not putting enough in the revolving residual fund.
I asked them that question, gentlemen. They keep about $60 million in a reserve. Entergy Mississippi does. And these costs are projected to be at 200 to up to possible 250 million or so, give or take. And they just simply don't have enough reserves.
Gentleman from Pearl River, Mr. Ladner.
Thank you. Gentleman, you.
Yes, sir.
You know, people we get power from down home are co-ops. Is Entergy a co-op or a for-profit company?
They are a publicly traded company, that's right.
Okay, thank you.
Gentleman from DeSoto, Mr. Eubanks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will gentleman yield?
Yes.
For the record, I get power from Entergy. They do a good job. I appreciate that. But my question is, you said they're going to pay every bit of it, the bond origination fees, all the interest.
Yes.
My only concern is there any kind of provision should they ever default and not pay, we just eat it, or?
Well, that's the only risk as I see, is if Entergy goes or to go away. But gentlemen, I think we all know that we're not just going to have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people in Mississippi go without power. They would be bought out by somebody who would then take over this obligation.
Does this set a precedent that we'll kind of be obligated to for future?
I would say
occurrences?
that the precedent was set after Katrina with what this body did with Mississippi Power. This is modeled after what was done back after 2005. To give you some perspective and for some of those who may not be from the areas that were affected in North Mississippi, you may not fully understand, maybe some of my coast friends, the damage to Mississippi Power incurred after Katrina was around somewhere in the ballpark of $400 million. And the damage that Entergy has incurred as a result of the ice storm is projected to be up to $250 million. So very significant.
Now, it's my understanding that the co-ops, most of them get their power from TVA, so they go through them to get money, so they're not going to line up right after we do this for Entergy and ask for money from the state. Is that correct?
Gentlemen, I'm certainly happy to meet with them and discuss it, but they have not come forward with a request at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gentleman from Marshall, Mr. Faulkner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Chairman, you yield?
Yes, sir.
Just piggybacking off the gentleman's questions. So up north, the local power company gets their power from TVA. This is the Entergy.
That's right.
So you haven't had a conversation with TVA. Tell me how.
No, I have not.
I'm just trying to understand what.
This request came from Entergy. We have not had a similar request from the local cooperatives at this time.
But so so how would that happen? If they reach out to you, then TVA can do the same thing? I'm just trying to understand.
We could certainly have that discussion.
Because the folks up north need this help, as you know, was devastated from the last storm.
Yes, sir.
So something should be done to help those ratepayers as well. You agree?
Yeah, I agree. And look, I just don't know the answer to that. I'm sure they have a plan. They may have a plan to get to borrow money at a similar rate somewhere else. But I'm happy to have those conversations with them if they would like to.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Lady from Lincoln, Ms. Curry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will the gentleman yield?
Yes.
Quick question, just because I have no idea what the answer is. Do Entergy, do they take out insurance for protection when something happens? Just like when we have a wreck, we have it on our car or for infrastructure?
My understanding is not on utility lines. They're self-insured from that, I guess, from that perspective.
So nobody else is going to be paying them either?
Not to my knowledge.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I see no further questions, gentlemen.
I'd move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. In favor of the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote of 116 yeas, 0 nays, the bill passes. Next item, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, I'd go to item 25, House Bill 1945. Call the bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized to explain the bill.
Mr. Speaker, would you please recognize the gentleman from Itawamba to handle both this bill and the next item, item 26.
Gentleman from Itawamba.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 1945 is simply a bill that allows contributions to charitable organizations around the state. It's only allowed for individuals. This bill will allow businesses and industry to contribute to that. It's a $2,400 tax credit, and that's an explanation.
Questions on the bill? I don't see any, gentlemen. Gentleman from Lee has an amendment. Gentleman Lee, you'll be recognized for your amendment.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What my amendment is that currently this bill has a cap of $1 million for the tax credits, and my amendment would increase this to $3 million. That's my explanation.
Questions on the amendment? I don't see any, gentlemen.
Thank you.
The gentleman from Itawamba wish to respond? All right, question occurs with the adoption of Amendment 1. If you favor the amendment, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. Anything further on the bill, gentlemen?
Final passage.
He moves final passage. Open machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote 112 yeas, 0 nays, the bill passes. Next item, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Item 26, House Bill 1835. I'd like to call that up and make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read a third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. Gentlemen, you're recognized to explain the bill.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a current program that we do across the state for apprenticeship programs. We're increasing the total from $1 million to $5 million, and that's an explanation of the bill.
Questions on the bill? I don't see any, gentlemen.
Move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By a vote 117 yeas, 0 nays, the bill passes. Next item, Mr. Vice Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Item 27, House Bill 4073. Call it up. Usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed, read the third time, and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized to explain the bill, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have an amendment.
All right. You want to explain your amendment?
Yes, sir. I'll explain the amendment. I'm deleting section. Removing section 14 that involved NIL language, because we passed House Bill, I think, 4018 earlier today that had the same language in it. And that's the explanation of the amendment.
Questions on the amendment? Seeing none, the question occurs with the adoption of Amendment 1. If you favor the amendment, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The amendment's adopted. You're recognized for further explanation of the bill, gentlemen.
All right, thank you. We're on the bill now. This bill now does two simple things. We passed a Work to Save bill here last year and the year before, unanimous, that would create a savings program for people that maybe work for a small company, private, or maybe work for themselves that do not have a 401k, IRA through their business. This would be set up through the state treasurer's office where out of payroll deduction, people could create a savings account. That's the first part of the bill. Second part of the bill, many of y'all co-authored one of my bills earlier that involved eliminating sales tax on athletic events for men and women's sports for all 8 of our IHL universities and colleges. That's the second part of the bill. And that's the explanation of the bill. I'll entertain any questions.
Questions on the bill? Lady from Jones, Ms. Scott.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Will you yield, gentlemen?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to be clear on what it is that we're doing here. Y'all, y'all make these preambles in these bills. And on line 30, if you would, it says that it's the policy of the state to assist Mississippi private sector workforce, particularly moderate and lower income working households. And this is to help them to voluntarily save for retirement. I guess my question to you, gentlemen, what low income, moderately income family in Mississippi can save a nickel with eggs $100, bacon $100? Everything they have to buy is, I'm trying to figure out how in the world does this help the low and moderate income person who can't save?
Yes, ma'am. This is not required. This is just, it's not a mandate, it's just an option.
Well, the only reason I ask you that, sir, is because, y'all say that the legislature found these things. I don't know if you had a hearing. I don't know if y'all voted on it. I don't know. But it just says for working families. And I just think it's about time for us to stop. Well, do what we need to do what we want to do. But I don't think it makes good policy for the legislature to say we finding that we're going to do things for low-income people to save,
yeah,
to get into this thing when these people can't even, make it from day to day.
Again, they're not required to do this. This is just an option should they want to.
And they can't save, so it's not.
I know.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for your question.
Lady from Lincoln, Ms. Curry.
Thank you. One quick question,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
I'm trying to understand it too. So if you have a savings account in a bank, though banks pay very little interest, so what would be the benefit for people to put their money there?
It's just an account. Like I was telling the lady from Jones.
I mean, are you going to make any interest?
They will accrue interest. It's similar to the college savings plan that the state treasurer currently has. It's similar to that. And again, it's not a mandate, it's just an option.
Okay.
And we passed it unanimous out of the House last year. And
So how much does this cost us to do?
None,
The state?
no cost.
Okay. Thank you.
I don't see any further questions, gentlemen.
I move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By vote 118 yeas, 1 nay, the bill passes. Next item, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Speaker, the next item we go to will be item 28, House Bill 4074. I'd call the bill up, make the usual motion.
Gentleman calls the bill up, moves the rules be suspended, the bill considered engrossed read a third time and placed on final passage. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. You're recognized, gentlemen.
I would ask that we recognize the gentleman from all parts on the coast to handle the next bill.
Gentleman from Harrison, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have an amendment at the proper
All right,
time.
you want to explain your amendment now?
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, basically what my amendment does, it moves, in this bill, mobile sports betting is taxed at 18.5%. It moves it to 22%, which is the national average, but it also reduces the gaming tax for the state from 8% to 6%. That's approximately $48 million tax cut to the casinos, but mobile is projected to bring in at 22%, $100 million a year. And that's the explanation, Mr. Speaker.
Questions on the amendment? All right, I see none. Question recurs the adoption of Amendment 1. If you favor the amendment, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The amendment's adopted. You're recognized for further explanation of the bill, gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, that'll put us at the national average on mobile sports betting tax, projected to bring in $100 million a year. It will also give our bricks and mortar a tax cut of approximately $48 million to reinvest into their properties, give employees pay raises, do things they need to do to keep them up and going to stay competitive in our market. Just to give you an idea, the next $50 million will go to PERS. So that over the next 10 years, that's $600 million we'll be putting into PERS. That's free money that's not coming out of our budget now that we will get off of mobile sports betting. And just to give you an idea, Tennessee generated $125 million last year, Louisiana $102 million. And so talking to the Gaming Commission and running all the numbers, it looks like at 22% we'll be at $100 million a year. And that's the explanation, Mr. Speaker.
Questions on the bill? Gentleman from Harrison, Mr. Felsher.
Gentleman yield.
Yes, sir.
Are the casinos going to be required to invest the tax savings they're going to get back into their casino?
They are not.
So it's optional?
That's correct.
All right, thank you.
Gentleman from DeSoto, Mr. Eubanks.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Will gentleman yield?
Yes, sir.
Gentlemen, you said 40 million of it will go back to the brick and mortars here in the state. Is that right?
Well, based on a 2% reduction, now keep in mind we're taxed right now at 12%. 4% goes to the locals. That stays the same. There'll be a reduction from the 8 to 6.
Well, in the other bill that we had come up during the general bills, it was we were putting money into an account that they could be reimbursed for losses, right?
That's
I think
correct.
this is a much better approach, but I was just curious.
Yeah, the $6 million in the other bill I had, this bill does not have that.
All right. Well, this is a better approach, I think, to
Yes, sir.
the problem, anyways. But the other remainder goes to PERS, correct?
Correct. So, and also in here I didn't mention, there's $2 million goes to problem gaming.
Okay. Very good. Thank you.
I don't see any further questions, gentlemen.
Move final passage.
He moves final passage. Open the machine, Madam Clerk. If you favor the bill, vote aye. If you're opposed, vote nay. Has everyone voted? Has everyone voted? Close the machine, Madam Clerk. By vote of 100 yeas, 11 nays, the bill passes. That concludes your work, Mr. Chairman.
Ways and Means yields at this time.
Announcements by the clerk's office. Tomorrow.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Public property will meet after adjournment in room 114. Appropriations C will meet after adjournment in 201A. Technology will meet after adjournment in 401. Drug policy will meet 5 minutes after adjournment in 204. Energy will meet at 1 o'clock in room 103. Marine Resources will meet at 1 o'clock in room 114. For tomorrow, Judd B will meet at 9 o'clock in room 113. Business and Commerce will meet at 9 o'clock in room 114. Appropriations A will meet at 10 o'clock in 201A. Transportation will meet at 11 o'clock in room 204. Public Utilities will meet at 11:30 in 204. Tourism will meet at 11:30 in 402. Public Health will meet at 1 o'clock tomorrow in 113. Apportionment and Elections will meet at 1 o'clock in 401A tomorrow. State Affairs will meet after adjournment tomorrow in 402. Accountability, Efficiency, Transparency will meet tomorrow after adjournment in 103. Conservation and Water will meet 10 minutes after adjournment tomorrow in 114.
Announcements by the members and Chairman. We're fixing to adjourn for the day, so I know some of those meetings were upon adjournment, and that's fine to keep your meetings. I wanted you to be aware of we're not coming back after lunch for session, so this will wind us up today. With that in mind, lady from Lincoln, Ms. Curry.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Corrections will meet at 2 o'clock this afternoon in 401.
Thank you. Gentleman from Panola, Mr. Hawkins.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The gentleman from Tishomingo wanted me to remind everyone of the First Responders Caucus Lunch going on right now in 113.
Thank you, gentlemen. Gentleman from Itawamba, Mr. Boyd.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The optometrists are having their meal at the Old Capitol Inn. It starts at 12 o'clock. That's right now.
Thank you, gentlemen. Gentleman from Neshoba, Mr. Bounds.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Hold an item on a motion to reconsider. Item number 11, House Bill 1989. Hold that on the motion.
All right. Please notify the chairman. Gentleman from Rankin, Mr. Newman.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The public property will meet at 1:30.
Public property at 1:30 today. Gentleman from Harrison, Mr. Haney.
Tourism will not meet tomorrow.
Gentleman from Rankin, Mr. Shanks, for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Two things. I'd like to call a rules meeting immediately after adjournment, and also want to let everyone know that Congressman Michael Guest will be in room 210 tomorrow, 8:30 to 10, with coffee and donuts if anybody would like to stop by.
Gentleman from Hines, Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Gentleman yield. Oh, excuse me. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very unique person here today that we all might need one day if we keep getting older, and that is the chairman of the Mississippi Opticians Association, and also a member of the Optometric and the Periodontic Association, Dr. Linda Johnson from the Jackson Hines Association. Give her a hand, please. A warm welcome. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, gentlemen. Lady from Pontotoc, Ms. Waldo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Drug policy will not meet today.
Thank you, lady. Lady from Jones, Ms. Scott.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to go to the Ways and Means calendar to item 21, and I'd like to hold House Bill 4065 on a motion to reconsider.
Yes, ma'am. Please notify the chairman. All right. I don't see any further announcements. I will recognize the gentleman from Rankin for the motion.
I move that the House stand adjourned until 2 p.m. tomorrow.
Gentleman's motion is the House stand adjourned until 2 p.m. tomorrow. If you favor that motion, indicate by saying aye. Opposed, no. The ayes have it. House stand adjourned until 2 p.m. tomorrow.